Hello and welcome to another episode of Let's Decode with Padmaja Penmetsa. We have with us here today Rina Hindocha, the yoga expert, and the wonderful lady that she is, where she's spreading whatever that she has learned through her yoga and the flexibility amazingly that she shows us. Welcome, Rina. It
Thank
was
you.
wonderful to have you here.
It's my pleasure. It's absolutely my pleasure.
Yes. So, Rina, let's decode. So whenever I see you, in whatever that I see you, I see a glow. I see that happiness
Yeah,
as much as you stretch yourself also.
correct.
Because हम जितने भी देखते हैं, when people stretch, it's yoga or exercise. It's seen as a burden. Oh God, do I have to do that also?
Yeah.
But when I see that smile on you, when I see that glow, that freshness whenever I see you, what is it? I mean, how did you come into yoga?
So yoga came into my life after my two children. So I'm blessed with two children. My daughter is 16, my son is 15. So after my two children, I had a lot of health issues and I was overweight. And to come across all that, I joined a yoga session near to my place, and that was just basically for weight loss. And no one will believe this, that the very first session was absolutely boring. I really didn't like it, and as soon as I came home, I told my husband that I won't continue yoga just for a month. And somehow, what happened, I just got hooked to it. I just loved the beauty of yoga. I just fell in love with it, and I was just loving each and every session and how it was making me feel physically and mentally, both at the same time. And I had to take care of my in-laws, my two young children at the same time. When one cries, the other cries. But after coming from the yoga class, I was more calm, relaxed, and I was more energetic. So I thought, this is good, let me continue it. And then I didn't know that it will become the way of life, and it will be such an important part of my life, and I will continue it till forever.
Yoga, right?
Yes.
So when you say yoga, now there are different forms of yoga that people do. And that too, you mentioned that you started with being overweight.
Yes.
At any point when you are overweight or anything, doing yoga is usually a little heavy, or usually it's easier to feel lazy. What I mean is, yes, and it's easier to resist.
Yes.
So for somebody who wants to get into yoga, the first resistance that they feel,
Yeah.
what do you think will help for them to actually get into yoga?
First and foremost, I tell all my students that you come on the mat first. Whenever a new student enroll, she or he has a lot of questions for me, and I don't reply to any of their questions. I'm like, you just come on the mat, be in my class, just experience it. After a couple of weeks, we will sit and talk. And because the body needs to get used to it, you have to get into the habit, and then comes the physical aspects, then come the lifestyle changes, then comes the nutrition part of it. But first and foremost is the discipline. Even if the student is coming on the mat and just looking at me and just observing, fine. But you make it a habit that every day at 7 a.m. I will be coming for your session. I'll sit. First, the body need to understand that, because at the very first day you just cannot come for a yoga class and you start doing everything, because the body didn't do anything for a long month. So you just first habit, and then rest of the thing follows. So I always tell them, first get into a habit. You remember when we were toddlers, our parents used to tell us, as soon as you wake up, brush your teeth. Now no one has to tell you, immediately as soon as you wake up, your legs moves towards the washroom. That is what habit
So
does.
can I say it's all about showing up first?
Absolutely.
Showing up and just being there.
Just be there. Just
Yeah.
be there.
So when you started off with yoga and everything, how did it change? And when you say that it has become your lifestyle,
Yes.
what made you stick on to it as a lifestyle?
So when I started, to be honest, I was not being mindful at all. I was just looking at the physical aspect. I was looking at weight loss. I was looking at doing all the intense asanas, which was making me feel do. But later on in life, I realized that being mindful and then getting into pranayama and meditation, it changed me from within. My perspective towards life, my perspective towards situation, towards people, everything started changing. I became more calmer. I handled situation very well. Even if see, stress is something unavoidable, right?
Yeah.
But it's okay. It's a part and parcel of life, and I am just going with the flow. That's what yoga has taught me, because nobody can come and teach you that. You need to
Correct.
experience it, and it's a gradual process, one after the other. Every single day when I come on the mat, I explore something new. I find something new about myself, and self exploration, self introspection. It's just because I never had a connection with myself. I was just always looking for validation from people to compliment me.
So can
Now,
I say that, yoga helps you align yourself?
absolutely, it connected me with nature, it aligned me with myself, and now I have a very beautiful relationship with myself. And I don't need any validation. And I choose which people should love me.
That is so beautifully said. Yes, because when you start connecting to yourself, you will see that actually, what, we are enough for ourselves.
Yes, that's it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So when I take this a little further, now Rina, as she was growing up, I'm sure as girls, as women, we've all grown up.
Yes.
And with this connect, because as a culture also, I'm sure there are so many things that we are taught that
Yeah.
आप यहाँ पे नहीं रहोगे,
Right.
किसी के घर जाओगे,
Absolutely.
or somebody else.
Yes.
Somewhere you're taught that what, you should seek approval of somebody.
Yes.
Somebody else should accept you, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure that happens.
Yeah. I come from a very conservative Gujarati family. So what my parents and my grandparent told me, that you will be going to a new house, you will be going to a new family, and make sure सब लोग बहुत खुश रहे. But they never told me that you have to be happy
Yes,
too.
खुद से खुश रहो पहले.
तुम खुश रहना.
Yeah.
They were like सबको खुश करना, तुम सबको happiness देना, उनको खुश रखना, and cater to them, and all that. But no one told me that you have to be happy.
Yeah.
And this is what yoga taught me.
So can I ask you, do you have a specific moment or an experience which unpacked that for you? कि you know what, अगर मैं खुद से खुश नहीं हूँ, सबको खुश कैसे रख सकती हूँ? So was there a point which made you feel that?
I wouldn't say it was a moment, but it was like a span of time in that happened. I was looking for validation from everyone. Even when I started as a teacher, to be very honest, even that time I would not consider that I was a very good teacher. I consider myself as a student and a practitioner. But even that time I was wanting my student to like me, they should like my session,
Yes.
and I should present myself in the best way. Now it's completely changed. This is me, how it is. This is my session. If you like it, you do it. If you don't like, don't do it, or don't continue.
Yeah.
It's like that. So it happened very gradually. Gradually, I fell in love with myself. It was never a love at first sight for me.
Absolutely. And that too with ourselves,
Yeah.
it's a difficult journey.
It's always, when we see ourselves in the mirror, we always have flaws. The belly is bulging out,
Yes.
or the arm
Yes.
fat and everything. Now the only thing is I am the best and I am looking the best, whatever the world say.
Yeah.
But I am happy the way I am. And it's all in my hand. And I don't, be away from sweets, dessert and all. I follow a balanced diet. But when I feel like having it, I have it. I don't think of that, what if tomorrow morning in the session, if the belly will bulge out. That's how I am. So I would not say that there was a movement, but this dedication and love towards yoga is made me change, and I am still saying that it is still I'm evolving. Still I'm evolving, and I'm sure there is something much ahead
Yeah.
to explore. There is
Because it's a never-ending journey.
never-ending journey, and there is many more aspects to explore and to experience.
Yeah. So through this, can I say that, the acceptance of self
Yes.
has actually begun, and, it is going deeper and deeper?
Yes. When people used to tell me that you cannot serve from an empty bowl or an
Right,
empty glass,
right.
I was not understanding that, to be very honest.
Yeah.
So now I realize that if you don't love yourself, you won't able to love anyone else.
Correct.
And if someone is not loving themselves and they say I love you, that's not acceptable
Right.
from my side. And when you are not happy and you're trying to make the family members and your children happy, impossible. It's
Yeah.
just impossible.
So now, how was life around this newfound Rina?
It's very beautiful. Things just works out. You know, I when I just met you, I was telling you just a couple of days back, I was just admiring your videos and admiring you, and today I'm sitting in front of you.
Yeah.
See, so I always believe the universe is with me.
Yeah.
So whatever I'm thinking or I'm seeking, the universe is getting me.
Yeah.
So why should I stress out and work or run after it? Universe is there to listen to me.
As
That's
much
it.
as you're open and accept things as they are.
If things works out, better. If it doesn't work out, it was not meant for me.
Yeah.
It was-
So, through this, now what I have realized, because as I told you, on and off, I've also been with yoga. What would you tell somebody who would say that, yoga is such an old aspect?
Yeah.
Because now again, I hear different aspects like power yoga.
Yes.
I hear something else. I'm like, that's not yoga.
Yes.
I mean, those are different things where
Yeah.
people are making it to keep up your interest levels, maybe.
Correct.
So how important is it to be authentic to actually what yoga is, rather than kind of do it? I mean, do you do any such styles, or how do you teach yoga?
I am a Ashtanga practitioner. I just love that practice. It's very intense and at the same time challenging. And I just love it. But when it comes to teaching, I teach a mixed style of yoga, but of course keeping the main essence of it, keeping the tradition and roots to it. But frankly speaking, it's very difficult to make the student understand.
Yeah.
See, yoga is such an ancient practice. But why we still have to explain it? And when people coming from the West, they know everything about
don't.
yoga, and they are taking it with wide arms.
Yeah.
And even in India today, in 2023, also I have to explain them.
Yeah.
So when you said about different styles of yoga, it's okay. I like it when people, if that's an attraction factor to get people
To get
in.
that. So that's the chocolate that you can give them.
Yeah, that's. But if the teacher is losing the essence and just making them run around in the class and making them jump and not
Because see, the reason why I asked you is yoga is about the posture,
yes,
and it is
with your
about
breath.
holding it with your breath.
Correct.
But power yoga is completely different, right?
Yes.
It's almost aerobics. It's
Correct.
almost like
Correct.
different. So that's what I was trying to understand. I mean, you very rightly said you need to show something to attract
Yes.
them, but then show them the actual way of doing it.
Yeah, and it won't happen for just like it didn't happen for me in a day. For a student also, the change won't come in a month or 2 months. So if they start following this, trust me, sooner or later, maybe in 5 months or 6 months, they will understand. They will read more about yoga. They will go deeper. They will start watching more yoga videos.
Yeah.
And that is what the mission is.
And through that, I think slowly they're connecting with themselves.
Yes.
So when that core connection happens,
Yeah.
I mean, once you've tasted it, you know it. You
know
can't
yeah.
step
See,
out.
if I ask you that, Padmaja, have you done scuba diving or have you done bungee jumping? And I will tell me all the minute details. You will just simply tell me, Rina, just experience it.
Yes.
I will not able to put it in
Because
words.
you can never put that in words.
Yeah, and every different person have different kind of experience, right? So yoga is exactly like that. You experience,
Coming to whatever I do, and you know what I usually talk about, it's all about the mindset.
Yes.
So when you said that yoga helped you accept yourself, kind of get into the connecting more to the authentic of yourself, can I ask you, like, was there any change in the mindset of how Rina was before and how Rina is now?
There is a huge change. My parents till now, they don't believe that I am a yoga teacher. I'm teaching. I have my classes. I have a career. They are like still in shock because I was a very laid back child. No ambitions in life. Just I want to get married and have babies, and that what I was doing it, and I was very happy with it. No complaints at all. Just that I started going to yoga classes and I was doing well. So my mother-in-law used to watch Ramdev Baba on television and she's like, why don't you start teaching? I said, no, that's not my cup of tea. And she's like, no, I will really love it when people will praise you just like people praise Ramdev Baba. I will be very happy to see
Again,
that.
some chocolate to, she get you into that.
Yeah, and she told me that the power of blessings. When you make someone healthier, free from ailments, the blessing which you will get. I'm like, okay, if she says so, let me start. Okay, I did my teacher training, and then even after doing teacher training, I told my husband, no, I won't teach. I don't want any career. I just want to cook and take care of my babies. That's it. And then my brother-in-law is insisting, go, you start. I just had one student, and that too for the next 6 months. No new student was coming to me. Still, I was like, okay, whatever it is. So it was going on, and then what I understood, that while teaching you learn a lot.
Yes.
Which I didn't know.
Absolutely.
And you meet different type of people. Everybody have their own struggles, and every body is different. Every mindset is different.
Yeah.
And then the journey began from there. And then pandemic happened. I switched to online. I have my website. I'm doing interviews. I'm going for TV channels. I have my career on my own. And there are kind people like you who invite me and praise me. And I'm like, what? I never thought of this. I never dreamt of it.
Yeah.
And still my parents are amazed. They're still not able to believe it.
How did the transition happen?
Yeah. So I would give all the credit, of course, to my supportive family. Of course, nothing happens if you don't have the support of the family. And of course, the yoga. It was changing me as a person, and it was just creating path for me. Sometimes when I share all this, few people find it very funny. But for me, it's very magical.
Yeah.
Very magical.
Yeah.
When I tell my daughter, sometimes she also laughs. When I tell her that you just wake up and just say that I'm successful, I will get whatever I desire. She's like, what, mama? What is all this?
I think the reason is because when people talk about affirmations, what I have understood is, when people say, as you said, for your daughter, I'm beautiful or I'm successful or anything, people understand that only as a sentence.
Yes.
People hear that only as a sentence.
Correct.
But what you're talking is about understanding it as an experience and feeling it.
Feeling it, yes.
So when that is not understood, because, as they say, if you just lie down and just wish, saying that, oh, you know what, I'll sleep, except sleep, there'll be everything else.
Yeah.
So like that, if you keep on repeating like just a parrot that, I'm beautiful, I'm successful and everything, it just remains in words.
Yeah. I always tell that manifestation with visualization works.
Yeah.
When
the belief, the entire belief pattern where you kind of imbibe it.
When we are affirming that I'm fit and healthy, visualize yourself as it is. Then only it comes into reality. And as you said, that is very right. But Padmaja, it doesn't happen in a day.
It doesn't.
It's the same process. You have to every day.
See, it's as good as if you eat a nice piece of cake. If somebody asks you how the cake is, you can only tell them it's sweet.
Yeah.
But what you experienced while you were eating it,
Yeah.
I mean, how can you ever explain?
Yes.
And they will also know that, this cake is sweet, that's it.
Yeah.
But when they eat, the feeling, what they actually experience, that's something which you cannot explain.
And nowadays people are not understanding that whatever we speak, even our inner talks, each and every cell of our body is listening to it.
Absolutely.
Sometimes maybe I'm sounding very positive to you right now, but inside my mind I'm having, oh my God, am I speaking right? Am I looking good? How it will look on the channel? But that's
in fact, that's exactly what I tell everybody. It's your thought and action which becomes a destiny.
Absolutely.
Only thoughts don't work.
No.
Only action doesn't work.
Yeah.
So it's about how you align the two of them.
Yeah.
Which will actually take you ahead.
Yeah. So whatever you are speaking verbally and your inner talk with yourself and your inner, all the words you speak, and especially your vocabulary. I always tell, will hata do. I am. Yeah. I am successful. Right? I will success. I will get promotion. Wrong.
That'll always be there.
I already got the promotion. Yes. Visualize yourself in that office, in that corner.
Yes.
That's what I do.
So do you teach all these things to your students as well?
Yeah, complete. I see, I don't tell them because initially a new student won't understand all that. But I try to give them a very holistic experience. So I start the session with pranayama, centering, mindful. When I say centering, they won't understand. But centering is very needed. Yeah. You just can't can't open the mat and you start practicing yoga. It doesn't happen. You need to center yourself. Then you do all the twisting, bending, turning, and then again comes the savasana. And then you sit with your breath, then pranayama, and then affirmations.
See, when you're talking also, I see the grace. Because, as you said, if people are coming to a yoga class, just like for an exercise, because what, I just want to do it as an exercise. I think the focus is only on, okay, did I get my yoga mat or not? Am I doing my bend right or not? Or anything as such. But as you said, when they're grounded, when that centering happens, I think everything is such a beauty, such a grace. Because, they all go proportionately, they all go in sync. That is your breath, your thoughts, your core being and your actions.
Absolutely, yeah. So when a student first comes to me, Padmaja, the very first thing they will say, मेरा weight बहुत बढ़ गया है, मेरा knee weak है. It's only negativity. It's only negative. And I will just listen to them very calmly. And when I take the session, we do, in the end of the session, when they are into Savasana, I tell them, give yourself one compliment. Give yourself an appreciation for taking out 60 minutes for yourself.
How much our hearts and bodies are definitely wanting that, no?
Yeah, that is what. Because we never, see, that's how we are born and brought up, that whenever you go out, you greet people, you compliment them.
Yes.
But nobody told us that you compliment yourself first.
Yes.
That, wonderful, you are taking time for yourself. Apart from all the work, you have taken out 60 minutes for your health.
Yeah. So, and that too, if somebody really compliments themselves, it's also seen like, oh, they're so self-obsessed.
Yes.
That's another thing. So that's a fear. They're like, oh, I don't want people to feel that I'm only full of myself.
But you must have seen these videos which are very true. That log kya kahenge. When you stop doing that, no, your life. Let them say whatever. You do what you love.
Yes.
What makes you happy from within. So that thing when you find out, and when people ask me, how do we find out? So even that's not I don't have any pill that you just pop it and you will find that. You have to keep exploring, exploring. So see, if you are attending a yoga session, do it. Then you do gardening, then you do journaling, do writing, do painting, dance, sing, explore.
Something that will keep you connected with yourself.
Then suddenly you will find your movement or that thing which is just giving you immense happiness. Just make your heart fill with joy. You feel like jumping. Like I run an NGO also which works for girl education. So when I see the happiness in the parents' eyes, it's so wonderful. Then I forget about the sun. I forget that I skipped my lunch. I forget everything.
So tell me, Rina, when you're talking all this, it's definitely beautiful. It sounds so, oh God, you know what, that's enough. That's a beauty. That's a dream life and all of that.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, usually what they do is, they are so bogged down in their everyday life.
Yes.
Yeah. So for them, what you're talking might sound as luxury.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them, when they come to me, when I tell them that, okay, fine, this is how you need to do, they're like, you know what, Padmaja, all that is fine, but I have something to, immediately attend to. What they misunderstanding is, when you put these things in place, you will find a way to put everything else in place.
Yes.
That is when you align with yourself, everything else, as we've been talking, it comes into a state of being.
Yeah.
So what is the challenge, or how do you feel that it's actually difficult to let people understand that, this is the path? But is there any such resistance that you find usually?
And this is very rightly said. I also come across people like they are very adamant.
Yes.
Nahi, ye nahi hoga. It's impossible. Nahi. It's very easy for you to say it. Like even my husband said this to me. It's your career, it's your session. That's why you do pranayam and all. Like a person like me who have erratic schedules and randomly a
targets,
the
meeting.
So it's like it's very easy for you to say. That's what he also told me that. But it's very difficult to make them understand. But I always believe that once they start committing themselves to the mat, things starts working. Like I have a gentleman in one of my session. He is doing yoga with me from the past 3 years, and he's a lawyer. And one fine day he's telling me, ma'am, I go to the high court. I have to go to the 3rd floor, then 2nd floor, then 1st floor. I always used to take a lift. Now I feel so energetic after the session that I don't use the lift, and all the youngsters are outside the lift, and I give them a wave.
Yeah.
So it's like that. And there is one female. She's coming from a very conservative family and all, and she had. I don't like saying this, but her mother-in-law was not willing her to go for a yoga class, not wanting her to spend money on this thing. You know, like her mother-in-law said, "Ghar ka kaam kar lo, you will become fit." And I'm like, "You come to my class, I won't charge you anything. You just come." And now she herself is a yoga teacher,
Oh, wow.
and she is teaching kids at school. So that's what yoga did to me. It doesn't stop there.
Yes.
It should do to others also.
Yes.
And that's wonderful. So when I hear such stories, then it make me realize that I'm on the right path.
Yeah.
I am on the
You
right.
feel so purposeful.
Yes. That I'm doing something right. I'm doing something right. And when a person will tell me that I have started loving myself, that's the most wonderful feeling. Because every person is very unique in their own way. And you know, I believe that every person has some quality or some talent hidden inside them. It's just that it's not coming out. So you know, I take sessions in a way so that all that things comes out. So suppose when we are doing the affirmation, I ask them to put your right palm on your heart and left palm, and they're like, okay, now we will recite the affirmation. I'm like, can you hear the heartbeat? Can we be grateful for your heart? You're alive because your heart is pumping. Did you give little bit of gratitude to that internal organ?
So to do all that, they need to pause, right?
Pause. And of course, when I'm telling them, now then, yeah, my heart is a beautiful organ. All your love, compassion comes from there. But in our daily busy schedule, we will not touch our heart. We will not listen to our breath.
Yes.
So that is how centering, mindfulness really works.
Being in the moment.
Being in the moment. And when I make them do savasana, at that time also I ask them, just go within you and scan your internal organs also.
Yes.
Be grateful that all your internal organs are working well. You are alive. You have got to experience a new day.
And that actually works wonders,
It
because
works.
it might sound silly
Yeah.
to a lot if they don't understand and if they've not experienced this.
Yeah.
But that literally works so much of wonders there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I believe that along with yoga, mindfulness, meditation, affirmations, visualizations, journaling, all those things really help. Because I do sometimes questionnaires also with them in the end. They can write. I don't want to hear their answers. So I ask them, okay, like if I ask you, which is the most peaceful place you have ever visited? So there is a reply like Maldives, some said Himalaya, Himachal. So they asked me, which is yours? I said, there are two places. One is my bedroom, or I can call my room, or just within me. I find peace there. I don't have to look around anywhere.
Exactly. Yeah.
My bed gives me a lot of peace. When I'm sitting with my breath, it gives me a lot of peace. So I don't have to run around.
So that can be anywhere.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't have to run around to exotic places to find that peace.
So I think now it is about finding the path from that Maldives
Ha.
to everybody's their own heart and their own space.
Yeah.
And
so
that is such a beautiful journey.
So I'm just trying to change that. People don't look around. Everything is just within you.
Right.
Just don't look here and there. The peace is within you. The happiness is within you. So when we think, when people tell, when I will take a holiday, then only I will be happy.
Yeah.
Or maybe I will be at peace.
For
or
that.
I will be stress free. Yeah. Nothing like that.
Yeah. See, that is what, right? When something is not right internally here, when something is not right internally here, it's as if our glass pane is full of dirt and dust and everything, and how much ever you try to see to the outside world, you will still see only stains.
Yes.
So it's all about clearing, I think, our own glass panes first.
Yeah.
And then I think everything.
Yeah. And recently, what I felt that people are disconnecting with nature. They are not being aligned, and especially the teenagers. They are switching on the air condition, sitting in the room in front of their laptop, and they're working. Hardly they are not taking fresh air. They are not walking bare feet on the soil.
There's no grounding as such.
They are not looking at nature. Yeah. They are not doing sky gazing. The clouds beautiful. They are not watching sunsets. So when you are disconnecting yourself from the nature, your body builds up negative thoughts within you.
Right.
and then everything, then however you much explain
It's a
to them.
spiral, right?
Yeah.
Even if you're on the good side of it, it's a spiral.
Yeah.
You'll experience like immense bliss.
Yeah.
The opposite also, I think, it holds good.
Yeah, and again the Netflix binging, the
Oh,
other
yeah.
binging.
Yeah.
The more you consume negativity, I always believe in this emotional diet.
Mm.
You know, what you see, what
Yeah.
you eat, what is eat you forget, but what you see and what you read is very, very
And
important
what do
now.
you think? Add on to
Yeah,
that.
what do you
yeah.
think?
Yeah.
And then, I have personally experienced once my friends like, oh, you watch this is too good. I saw, and I saw all the 8 episodes. And even in my dream, I was having those episodes running in my mind. I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't want to do this.
Yeah.
I won't do this.
Yeah.
I just want good things to run inside my mind.
It's about choosing, what is it for you, not
Yeah.
because 100 other people are doing it.
Yes.
Beautiful. Yeah. You've been talking about teenagers and everything. So if I may ask now, your children are there, or I'm sure you'll see a lot of other teenagers who are coming into this. So how do they like yoga, or do they even stick on to it even if they start? And what do you think is the right age for people to start connecting with themselves?
Actually, there is no such right age. I also teach yoga at Montessori school. So where they told me that the children at the age group of 7 and 8, you have to teach them yoga. After a couple of sessions, the toddlers, the child were just 3-year-old. They're like, ma'am, इनको भी करना है. वहाँ से देख कर they are imitating you. Huh? Children see, do what they see. So I started teaching them also. And then I don't have an answer, but whoever is ready, I am there to teach them.
Oh, I like the way you said. So there's no right time or there's no right age. It's
Yeah.
about when you're ready.
When you're ready.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it can be 3 years old, and yoga can come to you at the age of 80 also.
Yeah.
Yeah, whenever you are ready. So there is no age bar to it, and I always say no weight also no bar, no religion bar. It's just that you have to accept it as it is, and just then you reap in all the benefits.
So if I may ask you, because these days everything being a fast-paced,
Yes.
everybody's attention span is only about maybe an Insta reel or something.
15
else.
seconds.
15 seconds.
15
that's
seconds.
It. So if I have to ask you, okay, give us a magic pill where maybe the 5 steps to actually get into yoga, or to make yoga into a lifestyle. Is there a path to it?
The first and foremost path is that they have to just come and show on the mat. Discipline is very, very important, number 1. Second is consistency. Maybe you are not feeling good today. Maybe you're very dull. Maybe you had a late night. No worries, just come and sit on the mat. That's it. So discipline, consistency. And then third is accepting yourself. Don't judge yourself or compare yourself with others.
Even if you didn't have a good session that day.
Yeah, or even if you had a good session and the other girl did the headstand and you're still struggling with just getting your hands on the mat. Fine.
Okay. Yeah.
So just accept and honor your body.
Everybody's timelines are so different.
Yeah, so different. So discipline, consistency, no comparing, accepting yourself, and just enjoy it. Enjoy that moment and stay in your present moment. When you are on the mat and you think about that my maid will be coming or not, what I have to cook, what my next...
Or do I have to answer my boss or something else?
Yeah. What's my next presentation will it look at? That 60 minutes, just forget about everything. Then you have to go back to your work, everybody in your schedule. But give yourself that time. So discipline is very, very important. Why the schooling in India came up with? To give us that discipline.
The
that every
structure,
morning
basically
you
the
wear the
structure.
uniform,
Yeah.
you have to go to school and come back.
Yeah.
So even after you finish your schooling and you are an entrepreneur or you're an employee, that discipline has to be there.
Yeah. In fact, I was watching something yesterday, very interestingly, it's so relevant to what we're talking now. The grade system, or, whatever students study today, when they all get into a work life, nobody's going to ask you how many marks you've got, or what were your grades or anything. But it will definitely tell your employer, or it will definitely tell the other person that, this person showed up.
Yes.
This person did something consistently for so many years.
Yeah.
This person put in some efforts to actually do something which was required of him. So I felt, that's such a beautiful way to look at the entire
Yeah.
education system itself. Because
Yes.
as many, the negatives or the downsides of how the education system is are there, but it actually puts in a discipline.
Yeah.
And I think it's with that discipline that we actually get the freedom.
Yes.
Because when people talk about, oh, I want to be free, the price I think that we need to pay to be free is to be disciplined.
Yeah, that is what people are not understanding
Yeah.
nowadays. That they will just ask you how to do this, how to get this. But are you ready to?
To give what it takes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. When people tell me, oh man, everything is coming to you so easy. But will I tell them that I have done so much of practice
Absolutely.
doing headstand? I have, fallen n number of times and still I'm falling, learning, bruising, happening.
Yeah. That's what they say, everybody knows that the fastest runner, Usain Bolt, must have run the final stretch,
Yeah.
which made him known to everybody, is what, maybe those 0.7 or whatever seconds or 10 seconds or whatever. But who remembers the years that he must have put in that?
Yeah.
For him
This
to come
is
out to the
what I
final.
was just
Yes.
talking to my daughter yesterday. She's like, a young child. I want to become like her. I want to do this. I want to do this. I just told her the same thing. Do you know the kind of discipline,
Yes.
consistency, and the hard work they are putting on?
Yes.
One fine day you are just on the couch and just binge watching, and you are just sitting there and you're telling me you want to become this. It doesn't happen like that.
Absolutely. Because see, I think that's the only thing which is seen on the
Yeah.
surface level.
Yeah.
But what goes beneath it,
Yes.
I think that's the actual recipe.
Yeah, and for the same thing about even getting a calm mind or getting peace, also the same thing applies. You have to give your time.
Yeah.
You have to be disciplined.
Yeah.
And like when people tell me how you are so calm, how you are not stressed out, no magic pill.
I know those questions. A lot of them
Yeah,
ask me,
no.
how are you doing all these things? The first question that I understand, how many things do you do? I'm like, I still feel I'm not doing anything.
Not doing anything.
Because, there is so much thing, so much that we can do.
Yeah.
But why should you limit yourself? Go ahead, do.
Go ahead, yeah. Keep exploring.
Yeah. So, bringing all of it to, if we can just pack them up in a way to understand very easily.
Uh-huh.
What do you think that we've decoded? One is showing up first.
Showing up. Second is discipline is very, very important.
Discipline, yeah. So if you need freedom in life, the price that you need to pay is discipline.
And never ever underestimate yourself, like how I did. Like I thought I'm good for nothing.
और मेरे को सिर्फ इतना काफी है.
But khana banana and 2 kids are more than enough. This is the only I'm good at.
Yeah.
And I never knew that I will able to handle social media. I will able to do the marketing. I will able to handle the finance. I will able to handle so many different bodies and persons and everything. And yeah, I'm proud of myself.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when you put your heart and soul to something, results you will get it anyhow, definitely. But the only most important thing is you should love doing that. It's not that others are doing and I will do
Yeah.
it. It won't make
That's
sense.
another major one that I'm actually unpacking from here, that accepting yourself
Yeah.
and loving yourself to the core.
And love and do the work which you love,
Yes.
which is giving you happiness.
Yes. Yeah.
And then it won't look like a work.
Absolutely. Because, you love, you enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
So your showing up also becomes easy, right?
Easy.
When you actually do something.
And
you love.
I believe in energies and vibration. If something which I don't love, it will definitely come across.
Yeah,
It will
it's
come
such
across.
a drainer then.
Yeah, it will come across to you that she's forcibly teaching
Yeah,
me
yeah,
asanas.
Yeah. yes, if you're not aligned with yourself.
Yeah.
Yes, it was wonderful talking to you.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for decoding, how yoga can only be a way of life when you start accepting yourself.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Rina.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Padmaja. It was my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.